Hi everybody, welcome to yoga. What are we going to do today? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So let's keep it pretty basic. This will be a little less in the flowing department today, a little more holding poses. We will not hold poses for a long extended period of time, but they will be a little more than just a basic flow class. So what I want to offer today is just kind of a well-balanced practice. Remember that if you have any injuries, limitations in your body, that you know you the best, and if something doesn't feel right, please feel free to skip moves, fast forward through them. If you have a modification that you know works better for you than what I'm giving you, you can always substitute in a move. I'm not there to watch everything you're doing. I wish I was. I wish I was there to be able to tell you what would work better or not. So you just got to trust yourself, listen to your body really carefully, let go of any desire for, competing with yourself. Just honor your body. Be nice to it today and always. All right, so we are actually going to begin laying down. We're going to do a few things laying down on the ground and kind of work our way up to standing briefly and then come back down. So it'll be one of those kind of classes today. So let's go ahead and lay back. Get comfortable. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch all the way up. So you're going to stretch your legs out, reach them out. You're going to start with taking your arms out to the side and just taking a deep breath here. And then we're going to go ahead and take the arms up over the top of your head. So we're going to move them over and we're going to take them up there. And allow your shoulders to drop down and to reach through those fingertips and just take 2 or 3 cycles of air. Good. We're going to take the arms back out into the T position, so that's shoulder height. We will use the T position a lot. Okay, you're going to bend your knees, bring them in, hold your tummy in tight, knees together, feet together, and drop your knees to one side. And now remember, we're not doing a whole lot of flowing. We're just going to do some brief holds. So say when we get to a place, maybe take 2 or 3 breaths, and then we'll do the other side. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Stack your hips, your knees, your feet. Keep your shoulders on the floor. Keep your head on the ground. If you can't get your head comfortably to the ground or you feel like you're straining, put a pillow under your head. It's okay, or some kind of cushion. Go ahead and come back into the center. Make sure the back is nice and flat. Pull one knee in. Give it a nice hug. Now we're going to hold it. Just take 2 or 3 cycles of air. Let it feel good. Okay. Now let's switch sides. We're going to do the same thing for the other leg. Pull it in. Hold. Stay with it. Allow the body to kind of relax into it. And then we're going to lower that one down. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and lift our hips up into bridge. So you're going to place the hands directly beside you. Now this is early in the class, so I want you to make it a small bridge. Like a just getting woken up bridge. Little one. Now we're just going to pause, look at the ceiling, little baby bridge, and we're just going to hold, and we're kind of just waking our thighs up, glutes, core, back, and just kind of assessing what's going on in our body today. Okay, now you're going to lower down, and you're going to hug both knees in. So you're going to pull the knees in, tuck your fingers behind them, give them a little squeeze. Good. Bring them in a little bit closer. Notice how I did that. Move away, and then pull them in a little bit more. Yeah, you can do that. Nice. Let's go ahead and put those feet back down to the ground. Now what I want to do is I want to repeat each of the moves that we just did. So arms out to a T, knees to one side, hips stacked. It's okay if you got to do a little wiggle to adjust your butt cheek. Okay, keep your abdominals drawn in, your shoulders relaxed and down. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the other side. So scoot on over, level out those hips, then stack it to the other side. And nice deep breaths. You're enjoying this stretch today. This is going to feel good. Excellent. Come back into the center. So what do we do next? Well, we hugged one knee in. It doesn't matter which one you do first. It just matters that you do them both the same. Bring it in a little bit closer. And then switch sides. Go ahead and pull the other one in. Good. Bring it in nice and close. And then lower it down. We did our bridge next. So eyes on the ceiling, hands beside you. Walk the shoulders in a little bit closer. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart, about 4 to 6 inches. and we're gonna lift up. Now this time, think about how it feels, and you lift it a little bit more. Expand the rib cage, lift it up. Keep your eyes on the ceiling. Try not to tuck your chin to your chest. Keep your chin up a little bit away from the chest. You're just gazing upwards. Breathe, feel a little bit more effort in those legs. Good. Now we're gonna lower down and we're gonna hug both knees in. So we pull the knees in, grab on, bring them in close. Now we're gonna do that little move away and move in. Remember, when I say move away, I'm just saying to move the knees forward away from your rib cage, a couple inches, and then bring it in. Now we're gonna hold, take a breath, and drop it all the way down. Now you're gonna stretch out, lower the legs, slide your arms out, take a deep breath. Take those arms over the top of your head, full body stretch, all the way up. Good, reaching. Now I'm gonna have you roll over onto your stomach from this position. So I'm gonna have you give me a little flip over. Easy on into it. That's about as graceful as it gets. Now, we're gonna go ahead and have our head down. You guys are gonna see what you're doing and then put your face into the mat. I'm gonna talk towards the camera, not good positioning because I should be alternating my head or putting it down, but I don't have awesome editing to make that happen, so I can look into the mat. So here we go. Face down into the mat. Your hands, you're just gonna keep them close, and we're gonna lift ourselves a little bit, but our hands just kind of stay right there at the ground, on the ground, and then we're gonna relax back down. So you're gonna imagine that you're sliding up and sliding down. Now we're not just lifting our head up, okay? Lift your chest, use your back muscle, and then come down. Just wake them up. Inhaling up. 5% work with your hands. Very, very little. Inhale up and down. Now if you're absolutely tempted to use your hands more, take your hands out of the equation. Move them back towards your feet. Inhale, raise your head, your chest, your hands. Lower down. Now we're going to try to do that one more time. Inhaling up. I don't like to hold this one for very long because it's a lot of work. Go ahead and lower down. Rock your hips a little bit. Shake it out. Now you're going to move your hands, and this time you get to use your hands and lift yourself all the way up. All the way up to the top. Now, come on down. If something doesn't feel right with that move, try doing it here. Placing your elbows on the floor and pulling your shoulder blades back and hold it. Okay? Now, come on down one more time. Pick which one of those you want to do. We're going to go up and we're going to hold it. 3 breaths, give or take. Elbows in or elbows on the ground and lift. Shoulders back away from your ears. Gaze forward. Abdominals drawn in. Legs active. Breathe. Good. Come on down. Now, we're curling the toes under. We're getting ready to go for downward facing dog. So what I'd like you to do is kind of lift yourself up and then push back. Oh, I'm going to change my mind. Okay, untuck your toes, lift your chest, then tuck your toes, and then push up. Sometimes, it doesn't always work out when I'm planning. Now, downward facing dog, you want to think hips up, back, and down. Spread your shoulder blades apart and pull the shoulders away from your ears. I want you to breathe, and I want you to lower down to your knees. And lower back to child's pose. That's hips to heels, forehead on or near the floor. Now you're resting here for 3 breaths. We are going to do down dog one more time, holding it, and we're going to do a little bit of work on our hands and knees. All right, ready for that other downward facing dog? So tuck your toes. Now we got to tuck our toes. Lift your hips up. Make sure you're pulling your shoulders away from your ears, so you don't want to feel too scrunched up in your neck. Keep your belly lifted. Pull those shoulder blades away from the ears. Again, neck is nice and loose. The heels are sinking, but they don't have to touch the ground. Try not to lock your legs completely straight. That causes us to round. I want you to try to flatten and extend your spine so back looks long. Good. All right, come on down. Hands and knees. Now, we're gonna drop back into our child's pose all the way back, okay? Walk the arms as far forward as you can, but then we're gonna change our hands. We're gonna think chopping, palms together, and then you're gonna put your thumbs behind your head. Now, I can't do that and talk at the same time, so here we go. 3 breaths. Release your hands down, separate your palms, come up to your hands and knees. Now we're going to go ahead and take one hand in front of the other hand. So pick your favorite hand. Now when you drop back into child's pose again, we're going to keep that hand glued out there, okay, really far. Then pull the other arm back just a little bit so it can relax and put your head down. 3 breaths. Good. Go ahead and come into the center. Now we're going to do that little hands behind the head one first before we switch sides. So take a nice deep breath. Sit back. Reach forward as far as you can, and then reach back. Hands behind your head. Release the hands, separate them, come back up to the knees. One hand in front of the other, and we're going to push back. So again, head down, 3 deep breaths. Excellent job. Come back into the center. Go ahead and come up to the hands and knees. We're going to bring the hips forward into that up dog again. So you're going to bring the hips down, chest up, shoulders back. There are other variations of this move. Remember, this is not the only way to do it. Now we're going to get back to the down dog. So tuck your toes, lift your booties up to the ceiling, hold it here, and then we're going to come up to standing. So 3 breaths. Go ahead and walk yourself up to the front of your mat. Now you can do that with many small steps or a couple of big ones. However you get there. Inhale, bring yourself all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms over the top of your head. Reach up, take your hands behind your back. Now if you cannot clasp your hands behind your back, okay, is that happening? You would just stay here and expand the chest open. But what I'd like to see, if you can, is to clasp your hands, squeeze the shoulder blades into one another, and hold. Let your gaze be forward, your chest is tall, so you're not slouching. Lift the ribs up. Give yourself some room to breathe. Good. I want you to release your hands. Take a deep breath. Inhale, raise both hands up over the top of your head, and then fold over. Hinge all the way down. Head down. Hold. Notice the hamstrings. Notice the lower back. Relax your shoulders. It's okay if you don't touch the ground. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice deep breath. Up over the top of our head. Hands at your side. I'm going to turn to face you. Feet close together. Take a deep breath. Inhale, raise one arm up over the top of your head and give yourself a little lean. Hold. Remember, you're engaging your core. You're keeping your thighs together. They're squeezing into one another. Good. Go ahead and bring your hand back down to your side. We're switching. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. Inhale, raise the arm up over the top of your head. Try to keep your arm alongside your ear. Good. It's really common. It's kind of like rotate the torso here. So try to keep the body facing forward. Bring your hand gently down. So we're repeating the forward bend, hands behind the back, and those 2 side stretches. I'd like you to start with that forward bend. So breathe in, bring your hands up over the top. As you exhale, you're going to bend the knees, hinge over, let your chest come towards your thigh, head down. You can hold on to your legs, your toes, or your elbows. Bring yourself all the way up to the top. Now, you've already seen the chest stretch from the other angle, so now you're going to see it from here. Hands from here, open, or hands behind the back, clasp them, squeeze. Good. Remember, the posture is an important part on this one. We don't want to be slouching the body forward or having our shoulders collapsed in. Keep them back. Think proud, think tall. I have to think tall because I'll never be tall. Go ahead and release the hands down, shake it out if you need to. Raise one arm up over the top of your head, and again, careful not to turn your body. Extend, hold, engage the core. Bring your hand gently down, let's switch sides. Inhale, arm up and over the top, and hold. Now we are not doing a ton of standing things, okay? We're just not gonna go there today. But we are going to do a few things. We are hitting all of the high points. Okay? Bring your hand down, and we're going to step out wider. So if you were at the narrow end of your mat, please turn and step out wide. Go ahead and step the feet apart. Now our intention right now is to stretch the inner thighs and the kind of hips. And so I want you to squat down. Place the hands above the knees. Knees and toes are pressed out. And pick your hands up and hold them in front of you. If you don't like having your hands here, for whatever reason, you can show me muscles or have hands on thighs. Okay? Take a deep breath. I want you to drop down a little bit. Hold 3 deep breaths. Good. Go ahead and straighten the legs. Release the hands down to your side. Now, we're going to go ahead and turn. These toes are going to point forward. These toes are going to point out. We're going to slide down, move the hand down the leg, and we're going to think about stretching that inner thigh a little bit more. So I want you to just slide the hand down the leg and lift the other hand up towards the ceiling. Breathe. Now, if you have to stop here, that's okay. If you can take it down further, that's also okay. Good. Hold strong and steady. Careful not to lock your knee completely out, but do find that stretch running alongside the inner thigh. Woo, don't fall. Don't fall. Now we're going to lift ourselves back up to the top, taking a nice deep breath in. And we are going to do that side one more time. Okay, so I'm going to have you slide down, reach that arm up to the ceiling, all the way up. Most of the moves that we do today, we're going to try to do twice. Sometimes we do more, but we are limited in our 30-minute format. Go ahead and bring yourself up. We're going to return to that wide squat position, so turn the toes forward, make sure the heels are in and the toes are out slightly so our knees will track in the proper spot. Remember, hands can be on thighs, you can be showing me some muscles, or you can be just saying a prayer. Drop down, abs in, 3 deep breaths, please. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed and down. I know that can be tough, especially when your legs are starting to tremble. Breathe. Good. Release, straightening the legs, lowering your hands. Now we're flipping the feet the other direction. So turn the toes towards front, towards there. Okay. Slide down and try not to press on the knee itself. You want to put your hand above or below it. Reach up. We don't want to lock the knee all the way out. We want to keep it a little soft. So you are flexing those leg muscles. You're going to take a deep breath, reach down, look up. Remember, we are doing this one 2 times. Okay, it's going to be really important that we do the same amount for both sides. We don't want to be lopsided. Bring yourself up to the top, take a deep breath in. And we do it one more time. Down we go. Down, down, down we go. Hold. Breathe. Good. Fantastic. Bring yourself back up to the top. You're going to turn your toes forward, and we're going to do a wide leg forward bend. So we're going to do this one 2 times, holding briefly, 3 breaths. Take a deep breath in, exhale all the way down, all the way down. You can hold your toes, your ankles, or your elbows. Take a deep breath, inhale, bring yourself all the way up to the top. Woo! If you get a little head rush, feel a little wobbly, just take a moment at the top. We're going to do that one more time. Take a deep breath in, all the way up. I want you to notice the stretch through the back of the thighs. We're not spending a ton of time on our hamstrings today. Exhale down. Feel that stretch. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up to the top. Step your feet together, all the way together. Let's go ahead and turn to face the front of the mat. Now we're going to take one leg and we're going to lunge it back. So I want your toes curled under. I want you to take a really big stretch back right there. And I want you to take a deep breath and raise both hands up over the top of your head. Good. Remember, we're not doing really, really long holds, maybe 3 breaths. Good. I want you to go ahead and lower your hands down, and guess what? Step together, all the way together. Now we're going to switch sides. So you're going to step back with the other leg. Long step back with the toes curled under. Deep breath, raise your hands. Hold. Chest is tall, eyes are forward. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath, step up. Now we're going to do a forward bend here. We're going to hold on to our ankles or calves. Breath in, breath out. Bend your knees a little bit, let your chest come down. Go ahead and inhale, bring yourself all the way back up to the top. And hands down. Now we're repeating that same move again. So we're going to step back with the one leg. So it doesn't matter which one you do first, as long as you do them both. Okay, step back, take a deep breath, inhale, hands up. Drop your shoulders a little, keep your chest up. Breathe. Good, big step forward. And then big step back. Good. After this, we're going to work our way back down to the ground. Kind of reversing the order. We're going to get down. We're going to get the final stretches in. Good. Go ahead and take a nice giant step forward here when you're ready. So we're going to do that forward bend, and instead of coming back up, we're going to go to down dog. So take a deep breath. Exhale all the way down. Hold here first. And here we get to go to down dog. So place the hands on the ground, bend your knees if you need to. Walk backwards. Lower down onto the knees. Fold back onto your heels. Go ahead and bring your body forward and onto your stomach. So I don't really want you spending any time in an up dog. It's just a transition. I just want you to come forward and down. There's really no good way to do this next move on camera. At least I don't think there is. So you have to listen. Okay? You're going to put one arm out, and we're going to roll that direction for a chest stretch. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate it first for both sides, and then we're going to do it. Okay? Okay, so notice how the foot just kind of crossed back like a kickstand. The other hand is helping. So now I'm going to show you from the other side, different view. So you're going to gently push yourself over with your palm on the ground. So this is what it looks like from this side. Okay? Now if you don't feel comfortable putting your leg back, you just stack them. All right, here we go. I'm going to go back to the first side, and we're going to hold it for 3 breaths. Okay, arm out, roll. Come back into the center, pull that hand in because that's going to roll you. Put the other hand out to the side, head down, okay, and roll. Remember, you can stack your legs if it hurts your back. The idea is we're stretching the chest, okay, chest on the one side. All right, come back onto your stomach. Now I'm going to have you pull both hands in. Now you've got to lift yourself up and hold it. So you're going to take that nice deep breath, lift yourself up, lift the chin. When we come back down, we're rolling over onto our back again. Go ahead and lower all the way down and roll over. We end how we began, laying it. Now we're not quite done, but we are close, very close. So once you get comfortable, the first thing I'm going to have you do is pull both knees in, because the last thing you did was a back bend. So we're going to give it a little rock. And again, we are in the final 5 minutes here, or less, give or take. Now, put one foot down, ankle over knee, ankle over knee. And we're going to pull the legs towards you. So I want you to keep your shoulders as relaxed as possible. So if when you pull the legs in and you try to hold on, you're hunching your shoulders up, just put your hands down. Okay? You can hold on lightly. You can hold on a little less lightly, but do keep your shoulders relaxed. Now I want to try to have time to do each of these things 2 times, so we're going to lower that down. We're going to uncross the legs and recross the legs the other way. Open the knee, pull it towards you, hands can be down, hands can be up. on your thigh. Good. Go ahead and lower it down. I want you to bring it to a butterfly position. So bottoms of the feet are together, knees are open, hands are beside you, gaze at the ceiling. This is an easy one. Just lay here for 3 breaths. Lightly press your feet into one another, engage the thighs a smidge. Go ahead and close those legs. Now let's repeat the hip stretch. So ankle over knee and pull the legs in. So holding or not holding, your choice. Shoulders down. Go ahead and release it down. Switching sides, same thing, just the other one. Pull it in. Remember your options for where to put your hands. This is a wonderful time to just close your eyes and start the kind of winding down process that we're in. Good. Go ahead and lower it down. Let's hit that butterfly again. So bottoms of the feet together, knees open. So there's just a little bit of activity happening in the body during this. The thighs kind of lightly open, your glutes kind of just given a little bit of activity, and your feet just kind of gently press into one another. Everything else just kind of hangs out. Again, feel free to close your eyes at this point. Now we're going to close the knees. Hug one knee in, stretch the other leg out. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. And we only have time to do this one time for each side. Go ahead and lower that leg down. Pull the other knee in, stretch that leg out. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. Now stretch both legs out. Reach the arms over the top of your head one last time. And hug the knees in, both of them, one last time. So we wrap our arms around the knees, give them a squeeze, and then lower them down. Now I would like you to find a comfortable position. Get somewhere you can be and stay. Lay flat, lay with your knees bent, your feet on the floor, whatever works for you. And just take a couple minutes to rest and relax. You deserve it. You always deserve it. It's important to take care of our bodies, and even taking that time to rest. I want to thank you guys for joining me again, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Let's get this party rolling. All right, music cueing.